Hello and welcome to an Automation Professionals tutorial. My name's Dave and I'm the lead programmer. Today we are going to talk about audio and video control using a Crestron Touchpanel or tablet such as an iPad or Android tablet. First we'll go through the general layout. The icon on the bottom left is your home button that brings up the general navigation menu where you'll find the audio video section if you are not already there. An item to note in this area is the House tab at the top, where you will find an area where you can turn off the audio video in certain sections of the house, including the whole house. Next, on the bottom right you will see the volume control and level. Please note that on the Crestron Touchpanel, the volume up and down won't be here because it's on the front of the touch panel in the form of capacitive touch buttons, and this is also the case for the power button. Also down here are quick controls for lighting and shades that are in the same room as the selected AV room, but we'll get back to that later. By the date and weather, there are two icons that will show up when active. One is an alarm icon to indicate an alarm is currently active for the selected room, and the other is a sleep timer indicating there's currently a timer running on the selected room that will shut it off after a set duration. The main area of the screen will show the controls for the active source, or when the room is off, will show the available sources for the selected room. The bottom button will display information such as the selected room as well as the active source if the room is on, and by clicking it will bring up the room select and other areas which we'll be going through now. On the left you will see a list with all the available AV rooms around your house. This will also display the source of each room if they are on and allow you to adjust the volumes and turn rooms off. It will also show the same two icons I mentioned earlier for each room, indicating any active sleep timers or alarms around the house. Under the list you can turn off all the rooms in the house or choose to turn off or select sections around the house to filter the list, which is helpful when the list is very large. On the right of the list you will see all the audio and video sources available for the selected room, and by selecting one it will load up the source and display its controls. Here we will select AirPlay and Online Radio, which is using the Crestron Media Player. This is the Media Player, which I'll briefly go through. The left side shows information on what's currently playing, as well as any media controls such as play, pause, rewind, fast forward, etc. On the right is the navigation, which will differ depending on the media device you are connecting to. This Media Player allows a wired iPod, AirPlay, which will automatically take over when you initiate it from an iOS device, SiriusXM if you have an online account with them, Spotify that will add this player as an available player in the Spotify app as well as being able to save playlists to recall later, and internet radio. You can navigate through various menus to find a station you would like to listen to, and you can also save your favorite station by clicking on the music note icon on the bottom and saving it to one of your favorites. The other device control I will go over is the main control you will see for your video sources. On the right you will see navigation control, which will vary depending on the device, and on the left you will see the typical media controls. Underneath you will see the number pad where you can manually type in channels and extras for any device specific commands. Back in the room select menu, now that the room we are in is on, you will see a power off button at the top as well as some audio and video settings that you can play with. At the bottom you'll see a share source button and a sleep timer button. The share source button will adjust the room list to only display other rooms that have access to the same source you are using, so you can select them to easily turn them on in other rooms around the house. The sleep timer will set a timer that will shut the room off after a set amount of time. The default is 60 minutes, but you can adjust it up and down or reset the default. Clicking the sleep timer again will cancel it. Now we will look at the room settings. First off, the audio settings. What you see here will depend on the equipment in which the room is running off of. When running off of a multi-room amp, you will see these following controls. Startup volume, which is the volume that the room will first turn on to. maximum volume, which can cap how high the volume can go, minimum volume, which can cap how low the volume can go, treble adjustment, bass adjustment, right and left balance, loudness on and off, and stereo or mono control. If the room is running off of an AV receiver, then it will show the navigational commands to get into the on-screen setup, as well as any audio mode functionality it may have in the Extra tab. Next is the display settings, which will allow you to go into the display menu and adjust settings. Now we will look at the alarm, in which you can set individually for each room. The left side has your standard time adjustment, enable and disable, snooze time adjustment, and the days in the week in which it will go off. On the right is where you set what the alarm will do. You can select any audio or video source to turn on to, and underneath there are some volume settings. You can have it turn on to a set volume, or you can have it set to dual volume, which will ramp the volume to a second level after 10 minutes. One thing to note is when you're setting these volumes, it helps to have the room playing something, as the volumes will adjust in real time so you can hear how loud it is when it will turn on in the morning. If you have lighting in that room, then you have a few options here as well. First is setting the lights to go on instantly when the alarm goes off, which can be either lighting scene or on to full. Delayed lights, which will trigger 10 minutes after the alarm goes off with the same options, and instant delayed, which will turn on to the selected scene when the alarm goes off and after 10 minutes go on to full. If you also have shades in your room, then you can choose to have them open up instantly or after 10 minutes. Now we will look at the quick lighting and shade control by the volume. Here, when you open it up, you will see quick lighting and shade adjustments so you can adjust them quickly without having to leave where you are. If you click full controls, it will give you full room functionality, like how it would be if you were in the actual lighting or shade section of the program. One thing that's added here is the ability to set the lights to adjust the room AV source. You can set it to turn the room off when you turn the lights off, or on and off with the lights, which is great for bathrooms and other places where you may want music without having to manually turn it on and off every time. Beside it, you will also be able to select the source that it will turn on to. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and feel free to check out my other tutorials that will be popping up over time, as well as some other cool videos I'll be posting in the near future. If you are interested in licensing out my program and modules, contact me with the email address on the screen for information.